Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Well, if you've been with my channel for any length of time, you know a lot of things, but you know two things for certain. When I'm wearing my Posh is Back favorite t-shirt, it means that we're looking at, well, the second thing you know about me, my favorite Victoria Beckham Beauty look. When back in my only editorial days when I was just typing for print journalism, I was a huge fan of the collaboration, if you remember, between Estee Lauder and Victoria Beckham. And I have followed her namesake beauty line since its launch. On this channel, we have had a tradition of introducing each shade and comparing them to all the other shades. Look, I don't mind admitting when I'm a fan of a brand. I know I do this professionally, and there's a certain amount of detachment that is required, but to me, you shouldn't be doing it. You have no business doing it if you don't love it. And Victoria Beckham Beauty is, everyone knows, one of my favorites. The one thing I have never done, though I have always done videos when a new shade is released, I love that it's this kind of like boutique and curated and one little shade is released. But the one thing I have never done is like a full face of my Victoria Beckham Beauty favorites. Well, there's no time like the present, especially because, be still my beating heart, the lovely people at Victoria Beckham Beauty sent me a goodie box in PR, which was incredibly kind of them. They ended up refilling products that I've pretty much used up and some new favorites as well. So I'm just very grateful to them for their kindness, and also to let you know it will not be wasted because clearly I'm a massive fan. And like I said, no time like the present. I want to do a full face of my favorites from Victoria Beckham Beauty. When I say favorites, that's loose because it's kind of all my favorites. So let's say my favorites today, using some products of my own. You know, I have most of the line, and some new favorites and refills of old favorites that the brand was kind enough to send over. So we are going to recreate this look now, and I will explain and also link all of the products that I am using because I'm just excited to share my love with all of you. Here is a full face of Victoria Beckham Beauty. Okay, I'm super excited to dive in. Let me tell you what I did before coming on camera because I do have my base done. I started with the serum, and it's kind of important to talk about the collaboration between Victoria Beckham herself, her company, and Dr. Augustinus Bader, who is kind of a Hollywood celebrity skincare guru, but not without merit. I mean, he really has the research-based products. This is the serum that I did start with this morning. I immediately got this when it first came out, and I've run out. And the reason I didn't repurchase was because I kind of like to cycle skincare. You can tell me below if you do that, but I like to give it a break. I think it helps the efficacy and then start back up and, have a plateau. And I really love, when I was using I went through it pretty quickly morning and night on bare skin, just freshly washed skin. And it just really decreases pores. And I've seen a lot more pores that I have on my nosy and around here and here. So I'm delighted that they sent me a refill and I'm using it again. I also have my foundation on. As I told you, I have my base done, but underneath it, I wanted to tell you what I used. They sent over, lovely folks at Victoria Beckham Beauty, a original priming moisturizer. So the priming moisturizer, and again, this is a collaboration with Dr. Augustinus Bader, comes in original, like a pearly shade, which I'm wearing under my makeup today. You can use this to prime all the way. I put it even down on my neck and over, even behind my neck here. It's just so moisturizing. Also gives a little bit of a pearlescent glow, but of course, because I'm such a fan, I also have the golden shade. So I just wanted to show that to you because I used the refill. Here is the pearly shade that I have on right now underneath it. It's just like almost like a cushiony, look how pretty that is, without being too much. I test drive a lot of products on this channel, and sometimes it's so glowy that it almost becomes silly. This is that perfect amount of glow, but let me show you my own. That's the refill that they sent me of the original, and here's my own version if you like it to be a little bit warmer, of the golden version, which just kind of warms up the skin. So there's the pearly original. My mirror's going crazy. And there's the golden. They're just really pretty together. And look, I'm just going to rub it into my skin. You can combine them. You can, but they sent over for me a refill of the original Pearly. So I have that on underneath my foundation. Okay. Now we're going to move to putting on some of the actual makeup. My favorite bronzer out there, and I'm going to show you how I use this stuff too, because you know I'm lazy girl. I love the bronzing brick. This is a $60. You can actually get a refill for $42. So it's really nice, you know, clean beauty, no waste. So this is the bronzing brick, and you're going to say, oh, Rebecca, it's kind of a mess. Yes, because I'm going to show you how I use it. You guys know me. I am not really big on contour. I don't do like cut, you know, I probably should, but I don't. So let me show you how I use this. And it might be an error, but I love it. And as you can tell, I use it every day. I take my big, overly loved Sonia G face brush for bronzing. It's a semblance of its former self. And honestly, I just go into both shades. One is for sculpting and one is for, I don't care. And I just warm up. This is shade number 2. And I just want to show you, this is me on the daily. I use this every day, no matter what I'm wearing. This is the bronzer I warm up my face with. I go on the cheeks. I don't care. It just warms up my face. It doesn't leave any huge delineations. Maybe it's the shade I chose. I love it. I am so devoted to this. It comes with me all the time, and I love the cool little compact, even though my mirror is dirty because I use other mirrors. It's well loved, you know? And sometimes when we're well loved, that's just, you know, how we start looking. Okay, here is another. This is one that I've come to love. This is the highlighter in Pearl, and it's kind of a moisturizing highlighter stick, and I'll tell you why I love it, and I'll show you how I use it. I love it because it is no glitter, no sparkle. It's kind of a highlighting balm. So it's very just dewy and natural looking. When I'm super lazy and I go across my face, I don't like to use it that way. I don't think it agrees as much with the makeup. So what I do is I kind of go like that, and then I pat it on. Sometimes I even put it on before I put on any makeup, and then it still shines through if I'm doing a light day of makeup. And I just find it so pretty. If I put it on my hand here, you'll see it's just like a little bit of gloss on the face. And there's something about that I just love. You can put it on your eyes. You can even put it on the lips. I just put it, let me see if that shows. Yeah, you guys can see that. And then I just kind of like to tap it in. I don't like to use a brush because it's just kind of it's like a balm, and it just adds that perfect amount of sophisticated, non-disco dewiness. I mean, you could put it all over, but I just like to kind of tap it into the high points. Again, I'm not saying that you have to use these products this way. This is just how I use them. And it just works for me. So there's the highlight stick. This one is mine that I own. A lot of this is mine that I own, and a lot of stuff that they were kind enough to send over. And I don't mind, I don't mind saying what a fan I am, because I'm a massive fan. Okay, let's go to the eyes now. So we all know that Victoria Beckham Beauty has the eye bricks. And if they happen to be listening, can we have a new eye brick? I love the eye bricks. But lately they've been concentrating on these beautiful little lid lusters, and by far, I'm not afraid to admit, this is my favorite. This is one of the newest ones too. This is Velvet. It's kind of golden, kind of, I don't know. It's just, I know I'm running out of room here. It's just so pretty. It's golden again without being too glitzy. So I love to put this, I'm going to take a Sonia G brush, and I love to just put this all over my lid. This just is a kind of, they don't have to be one and done. You can really, you know, you could take this over a shadow of your choice. You could take this over a Victoria Beckham eye brick. I just love to just kind of put it onto my eye, and then I take a smaller brush and just dot it and get it underneath because I like it to be smoky. I'll wait till you see what I combine it with. I'm excited for you to see. Isn't that pretty and so simple? But here's what kicks it up, okay? So we know every time I have like a little party every time a new lid luster is released, every time a new shade of the Satin Kajal liner is released. Sometimes I combine this one with cocoa, but I'm obsessed with combining this with kind of a brownish gold, which we have here in the Velvet. This is the brand new shade in Surfside. And let me just show you it next to the gold. Look at that. And it's just kind of, it's a little adventurous for the likes of me. But I love it. I'm going to put it in the waterline. See, I don't have a lot of lid space, you guys, because I have hooded lids. So I like a color that's going to stand out in the waterline and to tightline. And because it's such a bold color, I do focus on the outer areas. I don't rim the entire eye. I could, but I don't. And sometimes I will combine this or put it on top of her cocoa liner, even in the waterline, to kind of give it that brown base. But today, I decided to do it just like that. I think I'm going to do, I think I want the whole waterline today, actually. Isn't that pretty? And so simple, but kind of chic, you know, if I do say so myself. Okay, I have already curled my lashes. So I want to show you, have you guys seen this? This is the tubing mascara that Victoria Beckham came out with. This is my best friend when I am filming. A tubing mascara, if you guys don't know, pardon me while I put this on and talk to you at the same time. A tubing mascara is a mascara that works not by depositing color, but by wrapping each lash in a sort of a tube. That makes it incredibly gentle, incredibly transfer proof. You won't get panda eyes, and it means that when you take it off, it can come off in like tubes. Like a lot of times when you take off tubing mascara, it'll be like laying on your cheek in little tubes. So this is an excellent tubing mascara. One of my favorites, especially when I'm filming and have to change eye looks a lot. I rely on it. And the other eye. I know I'm speeding this up because I like to put a lot on. I like it to be dramatic, but this can be worn either dramatically or just kind of normally. And I really like to go back in and just keep building. It's a beautiful mascara, especially if you have sensitive eyes or you don't like harsh cleansers, to get it off, keeping with the tradition. Look at that. Just that gentle shine from that highlighting stick. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's do some blush here. They were kind enough to send out a bunch of shades that I didn't have. I thought I had most of them, but I didn't have all of them. This is the blush in Major, which I have never tried, so let's try it together. It is a stick blush. This can be used on the lips too, on the eyes, wherever you want, on your belly button, wherever. I am going to put it on. I just like to just stick it. Oh, that's a pretty pink. I just like to stick it on here. And then you can use a brush. You can leave it like this if you want. I wouldn't recommend that. But you can use a brush. You could use your hands, just gently. Am I lifting off the highlighter? No, I'm just kind of combining the two, really. I could put more highlighter on if I wanted later. There's nothing to stop me. I am over-exaggerating this for you to see this very pretty color. And I just like to gently, I like to do this with my hands, but you can use a sponge or a brush. I just think the fun of Victoria Beckham Beauty and the sophistication of it are these kind of almost, it's kind of like Victoria Beckham herself with the posh nickname. You know, she was very simple. She was very minimal, but the black dress was like Gucci. Do you know what I mean? So it's like minimal, but super, super posh at the same time, super, super bougie at the same time. And I kind of respect that. I like to think I'm like that. Don't know if I am, but I like to think I am. Okay, so I have overdone the blush just for you to see the shade Major, because it's a new one to me as well. Let me do it for you in a little swatch too on my hand. We're kind of getting the whole color palette that I'm using here on my face. And I'm starting to feel really good. Okay, so let's talk about the lips. Victoria Beckham Beauty has a lot of lip products, and I'm going to to show you some of my favorite. Here is the Bitten Lip Tint in, let's see, which one did I bring out? I brought out Je T'aime, and then we're going to line over it and go with the gloss. Now, of course, Victoria Beckham Beauty, this is like a lip stain. Look how pretty this is. Let me show you that because we're doing all my colors here on my hand. This is like a lip stain, and of course, Victoria Beckham Beauty has gorgeous posh lipsticks that I love. But for today, I thought we would do something really simple because I'm doing my absolute favorites. And I love this lip stain. Let's just let it dry for a moment. It's kind of a your lips but better type of look. And then I saw Victoria Beckham in a video once with Lisa Eldridge, and I noticed that she put on her Bitten Lip Tint and then she put on a lip liner over it. So let's copy Victoria Beckham herself. Here is her famous lip liner. This is a great traditional sharpen it as you go lip liner, and it's nice. It's a little bit waxy. That sounds like a put down. Trust me, it is not. What I mean, you want it to be a little bit because you don't want your lipstick, your lip gloss to bleed, and this holds it in. It's a very traditional lip liner. This is shade 2. Let's put it over here. It's kind of a brown pink shade, so let's do that. And yes, I am lining over the Bitten Lip Tint. Perfect. And then, oh, I love this look. And then we're going to end it. They were kind enough to send over a few different shades of the lip gloss. I did let them know that I kind of go through her lip gloss like water. It's one of probably my top 3 lip glosses of all time. You have to understand, I try hundreds of lip glosses, so this is huge. I am really excited because they sent me over, we're not going to use this today, we're going to use some color today, but they sent me over the kind of clear glass shade, which I appreciate because I abused my last one and I would just take it right from the tube to whatever lip color I was wearing, and it made it all messed up. So now I know I'm going to put this on my hand first and use a brush. I'm going to keep it nice. This is, I swear. So today we're going to use the gloss in Fizz, which is one they sent over. And I had pretty much used up my other one, actually. It's a pretty color. And I love to use the Bitten Lip Tint as a base. It kind of provides a little bit of color underneath, and then that liner just kind of holds in the look. This is one of my favorite go-to, and you see it here laid out on my hand, my little Color Story palette. I am a huge fan of the brand, as you guys know, and it was an absolute pleasure to show you some of my favorites. Now, my favorites will change. If I were to make this video tomorrow, I would have different favorites, but I consider myself very lucky that the brand was kind enough to send over some new favorites and some refills of old favorites, and I appreciate them very much for that. But ask me any questions you want about the collection. I like to feel that I have a mini little counter going here in my house, as one of you said to me in comments the other day. I agree. So I'd like to think that I've tried the shades and I can sample anything or swatch anything for you over on Instagram. Please feel free to ask me that. And I have linked all of these products in the shades that I've used here below. But ask me any questions you want. Huge thank you to the lovely people over at Victoria Beckham Beauty for being so kind and sending over such delightful, charming little gifts for me. They will be very well loved and well used. I can promise you that. Leave your comments below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I sure hope that you did. Hey, if you haven't already done so, make sure that you subscribe to this channel so we can keep growing, and say a big hello over on Instagram and TikTok too. And don't forget, you can support the goings on here by becoming a member or by giving super thanks, as so many of you have done. But if nothing else, I am just happy to see you, and I hope to see all of you in the next video. Bye-bye.